The way we eat has changed very rapidly over the past few years. From a new dependence on food delivery services to the fading of many well-known restaurants, there's an evolution in eating out. Entering that landscape is a recent change in LA County's health and safety code, allowing home cooks to sell their wares much like a restaurant. The establishments are called MICOs, or Micro-Enterprise Home Kitchen Operations, and they're opening up the playing field to people who might never otherwise be part of food service operations. Street food vendors are another option for hungry folks, but those vendors are frequently fighting an uphill battle in the struggle to make a living with their wares and their carts. But one group is making it a little easier for vendors. They're offering low-cost, lightweight food carts that are approved by the health department. Those carts are a game changer for local vendors, and a collaboration with a big name in fast food means some of those carts are free. Fox 11 News In Depth starts right now. Hello, everyone. I'm Hal Eisner, and this is Fox 11 News In Depth. The state of California approved a change in the state health and safety code in 2019 to allow a new type of retail food facility. Those facilities, known as MICOs, or Micro-Enterprise Home Kitchens, allow individuals to create mini restaurants in their own homes. One catch: it has to be approved by the individual counties. LA County is finally on board with that. County supervisors recently approved the permitting of MICOs, which will start this fall. And so joining us to talk about that is Roya Bagheri, the executive director of cookalliance.org. Welcome, Roya. Good to see you, and thanks for joining us. Your organization got MICOs off the ground, right?
Yes, that's right. I'm the executive director of the Cook Alliance, and we're actually an organization that spearheaded this movement and passed the first original legislation back in 2019. It went into effect, AB 626. It was sponsored by Assemblymember Eduardo Garcia, and it created this new type of food facility called the MICO, which actually makes it legal for people to sell food out of their home kitchen. And so as an organization, we're dedicated to legitimizing and also supporting these home businesses, providing wraparound education, technical support, business support, so that as people are coming out of the shadows and are now able to pursue their dreams of, selling food out of their home kitchen, that we can help them have that really be a stepping stone, a form of supplemental income, and a way to really share their food and share business with their community.
Well, tell us a little bit about how MICO's have been working for the counties where it's been implemented. And am I correct? You're in San Diego, and I think Riverside was the first county to adopt?
That's right. So Riverside was the first county to adopt back in 2019. They've had an incredibly successful program in the years since. And we're up to about 15 jurisdictions that have now legalized MICOs and are working towards this. So I'm based out of San Diego. San Diego's also had a very successful program. They started with a 2-year pilot that went so well that they decided to push forward and make that a permanent program. And so it's just been really, heartwarming and amazing to see these people grow their businesses. And we've even seen people who started as MICOs be able to now also get catering permits and even are working towards their brick and mortars. And so we have some brick and mortars that will be opening shortly that started as MICOs. And so it really shows that this is, a strong opportunity for economic advancement.
So if I'm not wrong here, it was 5 years ago that California approved this. And so what are the regulations that are part of this for a MICO?
MICO is meant to be small scale since it is, cooking food out of a home kitchen. The health department does come in and do an inspection and make sure that everything is safe. There's training that people also obtain. And then there are currently limits and caps. So the caps right now, it's 30 meals per day, 90 meals per week, and $100,000 in gross annual sales. And what's really exciting as well is that Los Angeles opted in to also allow a MICO to be used as a commissary space for a street vendor. And so the caps for people who are operating street carts using their MICO as a commissary, that's Those caps are up to 80 meals per day, 200 meals per week, and $150,000 in gross annual sales.
I was going to ask you a little bit about the safety codes because obviously we have restaurants that have an A code, a B code, a C code, all based on their cleanliness and what a health inspector finds. How does that work in this situation?
Very similar. It's the same people that are going out and inspecting a restaurant are going to be coming out and inspecting somebody's home kitchen as well. But the difference is that people don't have to invest in those expensive commercial equipment. It's whatever is, in the home kitchen with the addition of, needing to get a fire extinguisher, maybe some cleaning supplies, things like that. But home cooks, they do have to get our food manager certification. And so they learn all proper food handling, through that. And so it is actually, very safe. The track record throughout the state, there haven't been, issues with foodborne illness in the lifetime of the MECO program. And so we're really excited to show people, show the community that this is just a really incredible way to have more food.
Will they have health codes? Will they have like A, B, or C? Will that have to be displayed in some advertising they have? Certainly not on the front of their door, but,
Yeah, so they will be getting a permit, and there'll be a permit number. They don't have to get they don't get the A, B, or C grade. It's basically pass or no pass for MECO.
And so if you see somebody advertising food that says no pass, you might want to pass, right?
Well, I would just make sure that they have the permit. If they say that they're MECO, you'll be able to see their MECO permit.
Your organization helps people get started on this, right? So is there training that you provide? Is there funding that you provide? And, what is the hardest part of getting off the ground?
That's what we're dedicated to doing. We actually just launched a program. It's called Cook Academy, and it's a 8-week wraparound education program where it teaches things like, business planning, finances, the MECO regulations, how to price a menu in order to be making the right types of margins, branding, marketing. And upon completing this 8 weeks course, which is all online, we are actually offering a grant of $3,000 to the graduates. So there's 500 of those grants and spots available. And it's $1.5 million because being able to provide access to capital is also so important within this process.
First of all, you won't see a MECO at my place because I'm an air fryer cook and not a good one at that. But, is this something, and by the way, when I have a delivery from one of these delivery services, I call it room service. So I guess it would be the same if I ordered from one of these folks. But will this hurt brick and mortar restaurants?
This was designed to really, have it be that MECOs and brick and mortars can coexist. That's because there are caps. And so a MECO is not doing the same high volume that a restaurant is. It's really hyper local within the community. And a lot of restaurants see this as an equalizer because there are so many, thousands of informal businesses that aren't paying taxes, that, don't have to go through the same permitting system. And now through this, they are. So it's equalizing it in a lot of ways and creating a clearer pathway for people as well who do want to pursue in the future their own brick and mortar.
Roya Bagheri, thank you so much for joining us. All the best. And coming up next on Fox 11 News In Depth, we talked to one of the chefs who benefited from the MECO program. In fact, Diana Tapiz was the first MECO chef to sign up in San Diego. We'll show you the delicious results right after this break. Don't go away. Welcome back to Fox 11 News In Depth. I'm Hal Eisner. As we've talked about, the state's MECO program has turned the burner up for some talented home chefs, giving them a chance to earn a living doing what they love. One of those chefs was the first to jump aboard when the county of San Diego opened its MECO program. Now, Tres Fuegos Cocina is making many diners very happy with their delicious dishes. And joining us right now, Diana Tapiz. Diana, welcome. Glad to see you here. Just for informational purposes, I think this is Assembly Bill 626 that caused this to become a reality, right?
Absolutely. Isn't it? It's fantastic that now our homes get to be restaurants.
And you were an early adopter. How did you get going and how did you get your business growing?
My business started growing during the pandemic. To be honest, I didn't know selling food from home was illegal. Once I knew that, I started immediately opening a commercial kitchen. I went to a commercial space, did that for 3 months, soon to realize that the cost of it was something that I couldn't attain. I didn't even have a babysitter for my kids at the time. So I had to close that down. And a few months after I was home, I never gave up on my dream, but the Cook Alliance came over to me and said if I wanted to be part of this new program and getting approved in San Diego County. And I jumped right on board when I heard everything about it. I had just taken a loss in the commercial kitchen. So when I knew all the requirements that were going to be needed for the program, it wasn't just like anybody can do it. You had to go through education. You had to do a lot of things to be able to provide safe food to the public. I jumped right on board and said, how do we get this program approved?
As I look at some of that food that we were just watching, I'll have one of each of them.
You know what? Everybody wants it. It's very unique, very homemade, but it compares to no other restaurant because not even they have it. It's really delicious.
You started this alone, but you have more people working for you now. And do you have a specialty?
I do. I cook everything. I cook for whatever my customers are craving now, but I started with birria. Back when I started, there was really nobody doing it, and especially in my community, there's very few restaurants that sell it. And I started doing specialties with it, one of it being our birria ramen. It's a Japanese traditional ramen that is nowhere in any restaurant. And that created a customer base for us. And now we serve to corporate, we serve to small parties. We even function as a small venue here in our home where we provide the food. And people have even gotten married in my backyard with a chile relleno de birria.
I would gather there were a lot of challenges that you had to deal with. So what was the toughest part of getting started? And I guess what would you tell people who want to do what you did and learn from what the problems you might have had?
Yes. One of the toughest parts of opening a small business, it's just like a restaurant. So you're going to have the parts where you're going to do the taxes, the administration. I wish all I could do was cooking, but those were one of my biggest challenges. And to date, it's been a great opportunity to learn to master it at a small level, to continue growing in the right direction to that brick and mortar, to that catering business, which I'm up and doing next. And to anybody thinking about opening a Miko, do it. It's a great way to start your path to that brick and mortar, to that catering business you've been dreaming of. It is the path, it is the way, and it is a fantastic way to find out if your recipes are going to be taken well by the public.
I'm curious because you make it there, but then it has to get delivered out. So is that done by the delivery services that we kind of know now, or do you have your own people that do delivery?
No, it is me that does the delivery.
You do it?
Yes, I do it. I do it. My husband does it. My kids help me out. So this is a family-based business. My brothers and sisters come and help me out when I have an event here in the backyard. It's a wonderful program because everybody has a food handlers. By the way, I function as if I'm a restaurant, and everybody working in my operation is food handler certified. I have some other ServSafe managers in my operation as well, my husband, and everybody knows we've all been training for this our whole life unknowingly by my mother, whose dream of having a brick and mortar. She was the one that had this dream, and everybody helps out. We all help out, and we can only have one person outside of per the program requirements. We can only have one person from the outside helping us.
I imagine you don't deliver to Los Angeles, right, since you're in San Diego?
No,
Darn.
I don't deliver.
15 seconds. What's next for you?
What's next for me is opening our catering business, going back to a commercial kitchen to be able to serve at a bigger scale. I feel ready for it. It's what the Miko program prepared me to do well for.
All right, Diana Tapiz, good luck to you. It sounds like an adventure and a journey, and all the best. Coming up next on Fox 11 News In Depth, it's a revolutionary spin on the business of food carts. Revolution Carts is helping some street entrepreneurs get their businesses rolling. We'll have that next. Don't go away. Welcome back to Fox 11 News In Depth. For years, there's been a push-pull dynamic in the street vendor world. Small vendors offering their wares to the public have gotten pushback from local restaurants as well as local health departments, even as customers eagerly lined up for their wares. But Revolution Carts is helping to solve at least one of those problems. The carts they provide meet these rigorous health requirements and smooth the road for the vendors. And we're going to find out all about that because with us right now is Matt Geller. He is the co-founder and CEO of the Southern California Mobile Food Vendors Association and the co-founder of Revolution Carts. And that's a mouthful.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Does that all fit on your business card?
It does.
It does. Welcome, Matt. Good to see you. And before we kind of start discussing the practicality of these carts, let's just take another look at these things. They're very unique. They're spectacular in many ways. And they look like classic cars. And I sort of wonder where this idea came from and how did you kind of get into this space?
So the cart really was designed by my partner, Richard Gomez. He's been building food carts and food trucks for 25 years. And what he always said was he wants the vendors to have vend from something beautiful. He wants them to be proud of it. He wants it to be exciting. And he wants people to cross the street when they see them.
You know what's funny? When I look at that, you know these little carts that navigate by themselves, have pizzas or whatever, and they go across the street, and you go, how's that not going to hit a car, right? Yeah. This looks like a little grown-up version of that. Yeah.
And his whole inspiration was L.A. It was classic car culture. It was street vendor culture. And he really wanted to bring it to a point where it would just be something beautiful for the vendors to have.
So what do these solve? I mean, they use carts now. What's the difference here?
Well, this one is permitted by the L.A. County Health Department, as well as another 6 other county health departments. And it's about $7,500. And we've gotten sponsors to buy some, and we've been able to give away over 50 carts.
The cart is a cart. It's got wheels. The cart they were using is a cart. It's got wheels. So what's fundamentally different?
Well, the big thing, this is a hot hold cart. So they pre-package the food in a commercial kitchen, or now, starting in November, a Miko's kitchen. And they're able to put it in pre-packaged. But the thing is, the reason why it's so revolutionary is that it doesn't need a sink or refrigeration, because it's put in from the commercial kitchen into the cart and kept at 140 degrees.
Now, you mentioned companies that are supporting this and making it possible for vendors to have these for free. And I understand, what, Taco Bell is one of them?
Taco Bell has been our saving grace, our guardian angel. And they decided that they wanted to empower the vendors that inspire them. And they've already given away 20, and we've got another 26 to give away this summer.
And do you have any other companies that are lining up for this?
Rockstar Energy gave away the first 5 in February of 2022, and those vendors are still very successful, doing great, and have been kind of the inspiration for all the other vendors.
So tell me, you use the word success. What are some of the success stories?
Well, a lot of, one of our vendors, he was selling with no permit out of a cooler. He was harassed by a guy on the street. We got him. Actually, the Cheech Marin Museum actually sponsored him, got him a cart, and we got him working at Home Depot, and he went from making $100 a day to over $600 to $1,000 a day. And those are the stories. As soon as they have a permit, then they can be in front of bigger audiences, bigger crowds, and at places like Home Depot.
What are some of the other success stories?
I mean, we've had, one of our first vendors, Beverly, she was selling out of her kitchen. And she got busted for selling out of her kitchen.
Because that was before Miko.
That was before Miko. That was 3 years ago. And so she was one of the first people to receive a free cart from Rockstar Energy. And, she got so busy with this cart that she had to go get another commercial kitchen to do her tamales, because she was doing the Frieze Art Fair, ESPN, Home Depot, and various private parties all around Los Angeles. And she just couldn't keep up. So she got herself a big commercial kitchen and the staff to empower her to be what she is now.
Some people shy away from going to carts for whatever reasons they might choose. these are different? Should people feel differently about these for some reason?
I mean, people should take a look at the grade. So all of these carts are graded. And so,
A, B, C, D?
Yep.
Yeah.
On all of them, so far, we haven't had anything other than A's on our carts.
Really?
Yep.
So how rigorous is that examination?
I mean, it's just like when they go to a food truck or they go to a restaurant. The thing is, it's a pretty simple operation. So they temp all the food, they make sure everything's clean, they make sure they have their cleaning products, that they're keeping the temps recorded. And I wouldn't say it's easy, but there's a real standard operating procedure that allows them to be successful.
You mentioned the magic word MECO a moment ago. So let's explore that a little bit. Talk about how MECO and these vehicles marry.
So often our job is to inspire people to go from unpermitted vendor to permitted vendor. And some of the roadblocks to that is they're going to need a commercial kitchen or somebody selling them a product. Now with MECO, they can step into it, they can have their own kitchen, and they can get started without having to spend $1,000 a month on a commercial kitchen.
So when we heard Diana in the last segment talking about having to make deliveries and this, that, and the other, she would be able, in theory, to add a cart, have a family member go out, take the goods out on the street with a cart and sell them that way?
Yep, that's exactly it. And, obviously there's limitations, but in Los Angeles County has given it a little bump in limitations, but it's a really great way to combine MECO and the cart and get some of these guys that are vending with no permit into the formal economy.
And what do you call these carts?
We call them the Tamalera.
The Tamalera?
Yeah.
Tell people, if this is something they wanted to do, how could they do this?
Well, I would first say go to revolutioncarts.com and go to the scroll down and apply for the Taco Bell free carts. We're still giving free carts away.
Really?
We've got we've given away 6 so far this summer, which will go out in June. And then we're giving away another 6 in July and another 14 in August.
Wow.
So
Matt
apply.
Geller, thanks so much. All the best. And Fox 11 News in Depth will continue right after this break. Don't go away. And finally, if you want to hear an audio version of this program, check out my podcast. It's called What the Hal, and it's available wherever you subscribe to podcasts, or just go to whatthehowpodcast.com. That's it for this week's Fox 11 News in Depth. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.